Howdy fellas, Frankie Day back again on YouTube. This evening on YouTube I have an update build report on Mr. Warren Blanch's Cold War classic aircraft. This will be the first update number 1 build report. I started on my old shaky, my C-124 Globemaster. I spent about a good, I'd say probably about a good hour and a half into the build so far. So far I got the fuselage together along with the horizontal and vertical stabilizer. I added nose weight in the front section of the fuselage just underneath the canopy, the cockpit floor, and so it can be able to stand on its legs properly. As for this kit, folks, this is a very difficult kit to build, as simple as it may appear. I think the hardest part about the kit is just getting the parts to fit. I've ran into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 fit issues so far in the fuselage. As I mentioned on all parts halves that need to be mated together to complete the part in its entirety is that there's sprue pepples that are on the leading edges of the parts that need to be mated. So, like I said, they can be either cut off or file loss so the parts will fit. Number 2, the biggest downfall of this kit, there's no alignment pins and the parts for it to fit, so everything is flush, and so that makes parts a little harder there too. So there's a lot of dry fitting before you apply the cement to it. So anybody attacks this kit, be quite certain that you do a lot of dry fitting before you add the cement. This makes the second rodent kit that I built. The first one I built was the F4B Bristol brisk fit, F148 scale in the World War I line. There was no fit issues. That was an excellent kit. That kit went together like a breeze. There were alignment pins that are inside the plastic halves where everything meets together on those kits, but on this kit here, there's none at all. I was amazed that it wasn't there. So anyway, this kit is more or less made for a person who's got a little bit of experience on it. So I wouldn't advise to have this kit for the novice at heart, because, like I say, folks, there's a lot of fitting preparations before you put the glue to it. And I dry fitted the canopy. They give you a clear canopy. Only 2 clear parts to give you the kit. As per preview and box review on my first video of this, is that the cockpit itself with a landing light that fits on the starboard wing on the underside of it. And I dry fitted the canopy. The canopy don't fit too bad. It leaves a little bit of a gap on the trailing edge of the cockpit to the canopy itself where it fits adjacent to the fuselage. So since the cockpit detail is very sparse, they give you a floor, they give you a pilot and co-pilot's chair, they give you a dial console with no controls, no scribing controls on it, and no decals for your controls on it. So I just went ahead and I'm going to go ahead and after I get the fuselage all prepared, I'm going to go ahead and cement that in position and fair it in with wet dry sandpaper so it's a complete unit, and just go ahead and paint the windows black with the aluminum frames that match the fuselage color. Evidently, the kit gives you decals in the form of portholes. So actually, this kit's going to be more or less done that favor. And for 144 scale, it's a pretty sizable aircraft. It's big. The fuselage itself is about 13 inches long all the way from the tip of the nose to the end of the fuselage empennage. Other than that, it's a good sized aircraft. Of course, the Globemaster is a big airplane in general. It's huge. So the rule of thumb is the bigger the airplane, the bigger the model, regardless what scale. Um, it's a dandy of an airplane. It makes an excellent collector. There's not too many of these kits out there. I mean, of the Globemaster. I mean, I thought I was the only one in the world that had the first and only Globemaster model ever made, and I found out there's a company called Amagran. They want $200 and something for a 1/72nd scale multimedia plastic injection model of the C-124 Globemaster, old shaky. And that's a little too much steak for me, so I already got a 1/72nd scale, so I don't need that kit. This here is good enough. Okay, since we're on the construction of the kit itself, this is about as far as I got on it, folks. I'll let it dry overnight. And right here is the fuselage in its entirety. And I get a little closer, and you can see the gaps that fit on the fairing of the vertical stabilizer. The rudder itself fits on top of the fuselage. It's all got to be filled in. And like I say, you got to dry fit everything before you apply the glue, otherwise you're running into trouble. You're defeating your purpose. You're going to have unsingly gaps and everything. You're going to use more filler and then more sanding, and it gets rid of more of the surface detail. The panel lines in this kit are very, very lightly done. They could be done a lot more, but in view of the panel lines, they're pretty much there. We get a little closer and see if I can. This webcam, you gotta excuse the webcam, folks. I just feel like firing up the other one. This here would be a lot quicker, just for a first update build. As I get along, I'll go ahead and fire up the other camera. I don't show it too good on this webcam, but the panel lines are very, very, very dull. I mean, it's hardly there, but they're there, and they're very lightly done. So anyway, the fuselage has made very good. Like I said, I previously had the fuselages done before I posted the video here, even brought up the update inbox review of the kit, and to make sure that the fuselages are mate properly without fuss. And it does need a little bit of putty on the fuselage, a little bit of putty on the stabilizer itself. Right over here, I got to use some sheet styrene to fill that in. That's another fit issue that this kit presented. And so that's got to be filled in right there, and filled in with sheet styrene, and done with filler putty as well. And once that's all done, let's go ahead and wet and dry sand till it's smooth again. I should put a coat of primer on there. I'll go to the other parts. I'm going to go ahead and cover this using my special aluminum plate that I've made, my formula. The same paint I used in my Albatross and also my F101 Super Sabre. I'm going to try to represent some panel work by using shades of black or blue to darken the aluminum a little bit to give it an effective paneling. And we'll see how it goes along. So anyway, this is the update build report number 1 of Mr. Warren Blanch's Cold War classic aircraft. Anything goes, fellas. Anything from 1949 up to the end of the Cold War goes. Warren says it don't matter if it's jets or airplanes. The Cold War classic, so it don't get any more Cold War classic than the old shaky. And it's gonna be a fun build. And other than the assemblage so far as to the fuselage, that's about it. I don't know if the wings will present any kind of a problem, folks, but we'll do tell. But as of now, let this thing dry overnight, and I'll go ahead and apply some filler on there. And using sheet styrene, I'm going to fit the inside root of the stabilizer against the fuselage zippage to fill that gap in. And do that. Like I say, this is a boneyard of a kit, so it's not designed for the novice's heart. So you got to have a little experience to deal with plastic like that. I was really turned off about not having alignment pinholes on the mating parts of the fuselage and the rest of the assembly. Oh, when this airplane gets finished, it's going to look really nice. I mean, 1/144 scale, this thing, it's perfect size. It really is. Not too big, not too small. Just right. And that'll be that. Okay, folks, I think I'll close this video off. So I'd like to thank everybody out there for your comments and tuning in. And that'll be that. Oh yeah, well, I can make a little closing note before I close my video. On my Herky Bird right behind me, I went ahead and applied my my Bondo glazing putty, my filler putty on the ring roots, and also top the fuselage and let it dry for about a good hour. And like I say, this stuff is magic in a tube. But like I say, you have to worry about 24 hours, like you do squadron putty, also green magic. This stuff here dries in minutes. So with an hour's drying time, I went ahead and used some wet and dry sandpaper, took it to my bench behind me over here, and did some sanding around the wing roots, and got the wing pretty well squared away, and gave it a shot of primer, and beautiful, came out perfect. Imperfections disappeared, gone like Houdini. And so tomorrow I'll go ahead and start on the painting on my Herky Bird, and good Lord's willing, the creeks don't rise. I should have it, my old Herc, done at least by this Sunday. So anyway, I got a head start on my Globemaster on Warren's group build, and I'll start my Bolo build this Monday. And so I've got a lot of food on my plate that I got to clean up. So I'm going to be a busy beaver for a while, doing 3 builds back to back. With old man winter blowing in, it's going to be bogged down in this house for a long time. So snow and cold weather makes modeling pleasure go together good like soup and sandwiches. Okay, folks, that does that. So that's enough rambling right there, enough chatter. So I'm going to close this video off. I don't want to bore nobody with model boredom. So this is going to be a closing of Mr. Warren Blanch's Cold War aircraft, classic aircraft. And this concludes my video on upbuild build report number 1 of my C-124 Globemaster Oshaki. Thank you again, fellas, for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. And happy modeling. Please subscribe. Glue on your fingers. Use nail polish. It gets rid of your problems. Okay, boys. We'll catch you on the next video. Should have one tomorrow on the Herky Bird, on the results of the paint work done on it. So, bye, boys. Y'all take care, fellas. We'll catch you tomorrow. Bye, fellas.